Find a hero product. If the stats look good, you can make $100,000 a month within 2 months. Okay, that's a myth. Realistically, the time frame is much longer, and I would be very hesitant of listening to any of these gurus that tell you that you're going to be making $100,000 a month within the first few months of launching a product, one. And two, half these guys are always talking about their revenue, and they're not even talking about the profit. So we really need to analyze this a little bit further before you make an investment into Amazon private label. Product research is by far the most important aspect of Amazon. This is going to make or break your business. So it's super important to take the time to really understand what you're getting into and where you're going to be able to take the market share and how. And it's not just product research. We also need to make sure we're doing the product development. You need to take it very seriously. This method is going to give you the blueprint for exactly what we do and how we help our clients go through and find the best products and have the best chance of success when launching into Amazon. Why is product research and improvement so important? Well, for one, copycat products. The last thing you want to do is get on a good niche, have good margins, start making a ton of money, ranking your product, and then the inevitable Chinese seller comes in. He's got a weird name on Amazon, Shanzon84, just starts undercutting your product, and they're taking your market share after doing all this development and spending all this money ranking your listing. It sucks. I've seen it happen, and it's important to take preventative measures, spend the time during the product development, and understand what you're getting into. If you're just doing a copycat product, you will only have the edge on pricing. So when the manufacturer comes and inevitably starts selling on Amazon, when they see you killing it, you're going to lose. So it's important to keep that in mind and not just throw a copycat product out there. An extremely important aspect is adding value to the product. There's a few different ways we can do that. Say we're selling umbrellas, maybe we throw in a cheap poncho, so that way it's incentivizing our buyers to make a purchase. The problem I see with this is it's very easily replicatable. Your competitors can do this as well, and now you're competing in a space where you don't have the protection over the product. What I would recommend is adding some sort of unique feature, perhaps making the grip on the umbrella better, or figuring out a way to create the aesthetics in a unique way that is improving the function of the umbrella, perhaps covering a larger area. And it's important that these improvements can be seen from the hero image. We want to make sure that when we're creating a premium product, it also can command a premium price. If you're adding features that are very hard to notice, it's going to be harder to market against the other competitors at a similar pricing. And if you want to market at a premium pricing, you're probably not going to be able to compete. It's going to affect your conversions, and the whole flywheel is just going to go downward. Always make sure to look at the ROI. We need to make sure that the returns are actually there. It's very difficult for a newcomer to understand all these hidden fees, and you think that you're just going to make a ton of profit. But after you pay Amazon, you pay your warehouse fees, you pay your logistics, you're losing a lot of the capital, and it's important to use a calculator and understand what your actual margins are going to be, if this product is going to be even worth it, because we're going to have to run a PPC campaign on top of it to rank it. If you're sourcing your product from China, like 99% of the sellers on Amazon, it's a difficult business for cash flow. You have to buy the product, wait until it ships, sell it on Amazon, and then wait for Amazon to pay you out. And this whole process takes time, and it's super important to have enough capital to keep going, because this is a long-term game. We need to run PPC ads, we need to continue to do improvements, we need to continue to adjust the listings. So it's super important to make sure you have enough margins there to actually make money so that you can continue to inject capital and continue to rank your product. There's tons of ways that we can go look in the market to start finding good products that are going to appeal to us. There's tools like Helium 10, Jungle Scout, and tons of others that can look at the market, break down the data, and help us find good products that will fit our criteria. We can also use the reviews as well as the listing date to extrapolate and understand how much total sales have been made over time. We want to make sure the product has a good history on Google Trends to make sure that we're going into an evergreen product. It's very difficult to move into seasonal products and products that have fluctuating trends. Bezos says it himself. We want to put the surfboard in front of the wave so that way when the wave comes, we can catch it. We can also use these tools to help check on our competitors. I use Helium 10 Cbro to be able to look at my competitors, how much they're selling, what their rank is, what their ranking and keywords are, and how can I position myself and find a game plan to take over the market share. Jungle Scout also gives this data in a very similar fashion, and some argue it's more accurate than Helium 10. Depends on what your preference is. I personally use both just to double check, and that way I can have the most accurate guesstimate possible. We make data-driven decisions. So these tools really help us get that data to make the most educated decisions on, is this a niche we want to enter? Is this something smart? Or are we making a very bad decision and we're about to lose our shirt? Generally speaking, when I'm looking to find profitable niches or profitable products, I have a criteria sheet that I keep. I'm looking for products that are generally above $30, sometimes above $50, because all the other Amazon gurus are telling everyone $50 or less. So it's a perfect way to pick products that are going to have less competition. Another thing I like to do when looking into a niche, I like to see, does it have have many returns. Sometimes niches like shoes or baby clothes have a lot of returns, and these are things that we want to avoid. When we're looking at niches, we want to see ways that how we can improve things. When I'm looking at these niches, I'm always just observing, is there some fashion or something I can do to improve this product in a unique way? That way, when I go to market in 3 to 6 months, I'm going to be able to take market share. I'm going to be able to establish dominance. We're going to want to go deep into reviews. We can use these AI tools to look at, is there a possible way from these 5,000 or 10,000 reviews that we can review the products that the customers are telling us? Look for demands made by customers. We can use AI to go through and filter out all the demands that the customers are making, and this way we can take what the customers are telling us and see if it's applicable in improving the product. We want to make sure that we're cost effective so that people really want to buy our product and we can offer it for an affordable and competitive price. Research your niche, read reviews, watch product unboxing videos, buy other competitors' products and see how they're marketing. Put all these things together and then we can start to curate a way to improve the product and find a gap in the market, or we can insert something new and then start taking the market share. In Amazon, there's a lot of weight given to the overall ranking of just the reviews. So if we have a 4.5 star rating, the customers are much more likely to purchase the product than someone with a 3.8 star. And this affects everything from the conversion to the click-through rate to everything. So it's super important to have this optimized as best as possible. And that way you generate this flywheel effect where your ads are cheaper, your conversion is higher, and you're much more likely to compete and eventually take that #1 slot that someone has had and that they didn't defend well. It's very important to calculate these total costs and understand what your profit percentage is going to be. So we're going to include our calculator below. You can just click it in the description. That way you can just go plug in the numbers and you'll get a total clear perspective of what your actual costs are going to be when you're sourcing the product. When you're sourcing your product, there's a lot of different marketplaces you can go to. I recommend 1688.com. It's super important that you're getting samples, you're checking the quality of the samples. I ended up putting a large order in for elbow braces a long time ago, and they look great on camera, but as soon as they got shipped to our production team, they were falling apart. We were trying to put ads together and it was ripping, and we had to end up scrapping the whole project together, and I spent thousands of dollars and made that mistake. So please don't make that mistake. Make sure you're getting those samples and make sure you're really evaluating the quality when you get the samples. Another very useful tip is creating a good package for the designer. It is imperative to keep these shipping costs down. A professional designer can go through and help you make sure that you're packing the packages perfectly. When sourcing, always agree on the threshold in place before you place your order. It's super imperative that you have everything in place to protect you when you're placing these orders later down the line if anything goes wrong. So don't skip the product development phase. You will pay for it later down the road if you think that you're going to glide through this process. This process takes around 3 months on average, sometimes 6 months if you're really developing the product. We really need to be smart when we make these decisions. If not, you're going to end up like Joe Schmo and start complaining online that Amazon FBA doesn't work. If we all put our minds together and strategize, we can make it. There's nothing different between you and Jeff Bezos or you and the top 100 Amazon sellers. The only difference is their work ethic, their ability to show up every day. In the meantime, if you're struggling, confused, or you need someone that can help you through this process that's been through it personally, please don't hesitate to reach out. My link is down below. You can book a time to speak with me personally, and we can see if we're a good fit to work together. I look forward to continuing to ship you content weekly. We're going to continue to keep delivering value to you. Please like, comment, subscribe, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.